and welcome to WeTV, making a difference in your community. I am your host, Taromi Lourdes Joseph, and today's focus is technology. And to help us with all that high-tech stuff, I have Darren Brito, Supervisor of the National Traffic Management Center here at the Ministry. Hello, Darren.
Hello.
How does one manage traffic? I mean, in all this, on our nation's roads, very chaotic. Tell us about what you do.
Right, so the NTMC, short for National Traffic Management Center, is responsible for a range of tasks. One of them is incident management. An incident is anything that affects the free flow of traffic on the road. It could include a disabled vehicle, oil spill, accident, flooding. Once it affects the free flow of traffic, we are responsible. We label it as an incident and we are responsible for managing that. What we do is, once an incident occurs, we inform our various stakeholders. For example, if it's an accident, we get in contact with the TTPS, the fire service, ambulance, and we also disseminate that information to the traveling public via our variable message signs. Along with that, we also send that information to ministry personnel to disseminate that information as well to the general public at large. And we could either do that through the apps, the SMS, the website, or social media. Right? So that is how we get to the general public using the technology that we have.
So that's VMS, variable message sign.
Right.
And those are the screens I see.
Those are the large messages that you see on the corridor. They are located. We have two. One is located by the interchange, which is, if you're traveling into Policeman, it's a little after the interchange. And the other one is located at the Abattoir intersection. If you're coming out of Policeman, it's a little after the traffic light on your left-hand side. So that is important for us, for the traveling public, because we need for them to pay attention.
Definitely, yes.
Right, so they could make that decision if they know that there's an accident higher up the corridor and it's going to cause a delay for maybe an hour and a half. They could make that decision whether they want to go into that or
divert, or take another route.
Take another route, or even stay for a while.
So keeping, a regular Jane Doe like myself well informed, right? So I'll know what route I want to go in. Good. Okay, so we mentioned incidents. Tell us about accidents. Could you go into more detail?
Right. So an accident now would be some type of collision, right? And usually, if it will cause, if it's not what we call a fender bender, where it could be pushed to the side of the road and sorted out, it will usually involve some type of maybe injury or some type of blockage, right? So for us, it is important that we have this communication with, the various stakeholders, whether it is the police.
Right, the ones you mentioned within your network.
So that feedback is important in order to manage the incident, in order to clear that accident. And what a lot of people don't realize is that primary accident, if it stays too long, could lead to what we call secondary accident, which is totally unrelated to the first one, simply because they're actually blocking the free flow of traffic, right? Okay. So a lot of people could get distracted. They could be paying attention to what is going on, not on the road, and they could eventually get themselves involved in another accident, which we don't want to create.
Right, so they macro and the...
Yeah, macro traffic is also
we're guilty of that, yes.
a big issue for us, because most of the time the incident is already cleared, nothing there, but a lot of people slow down to look at what's going on.
Exactly.
And they create that delay for themselves.
That backup, yes. So let's touch on the road rage.
Right.
Is there a lot of that? Do you see a lot of that?
Something new. It's a new phenomenon. We actually getting recorded now. There was an incident with road rage that what we saw, and what we want to put forward to the driving public is that we all share the road together, and we need to appreciate that. We need to be considerate of one another, and we need to at least temper ourselves in such a way that it doesn't necessarily put yourself at risk or your fellow motorists.
So safety is priority here.
Very much so.
And technology helps with us being safe.
Yes, and that technology falls under what we call intelligent transportation system.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you, Darren, for informing
Welcome.
us about the technology and what goes on here at the NTMC, National Traffic Management Center. And we go to break, so stay tuned.
Hey, welcome to WeTV here on CTV. My name is Reagan Davines. Thank you so much for joining us. In this episode, we'll be focusing on technology, and the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure has developed in-house a free app called Wise, which they actually launched back on July 30th of this year. The ministry has also developed a free SMS service which will give you notifications as it pertains to any roadworks or projects being done by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Now, how easy is this app to download and use? Check this out.
It's easy really. You go to your Play Store, search, you type in Wise, I typed it in before, Wise, and it's right here, Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, and you install, accept. Takes a couple of minutes, and once it's installed, you get to open, and you have full view of anything that is happening around TNT as it pertains to the work carried out by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Very cool stuff.
The all-new smartphone app, Works and Infrastructure Information Zone Electronic Portal, more fondly known as WISE, was recently launched and promises to improve the interaction between citizens of TNT and the ministry. So what exactly does the app do?
Through the WISE apps, users can, and you may want to note some of these, access a list of real-time alerts and notification on update to the ministry's website. They can access a list of real-time photo galleries. Also, users will soon be able to access live streams from the traffic cameras operated by the National Traffic Management Center. So users will be able to view a map of Trinidad and Tobago which displays works in various parts of the country, along with selective traffic components such as variable message sign and the traffic count.
It will also give persons the flexibility to be able to report to the ministry, and consequently for the ministry to continue to be more responsive to the needs of the nations on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago.
At a recently held news conference, congratulatory words were delivered by Minister of Works and Infrastructure, the Honourable Dr. Suraj Ratan Rambachan, to Mr. Keith Nurse, the creator of the WISE app. Minister Rambachan expressed frank appreciation on the initiative.
It's really a wonderful creation, Mr. Nurse, and something that will really add tremendous value. I perhaps think that maybe you yourself don't realize, or you're underestimating the value of the work that the IT unit and you have done in this case.
We're on Frederick Street in Port of Spain because we need to find out a few things. What people think about the works being done by the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. If they have any questions for the Minister, that would be great. And more specifically, what do people think of the new app, WISE, that was just launched? And of course, the SMS services being offered by the Ministry. Let's go find out. Firstly, tell me, what do you think about the idea of an app that informs drivers of anything that's happening in their way?
Well, my name is Jason Jofield, and definitely an app, I think in this 21st century would be a very great initiative. Reason being, you as a driver, you're on the road, you want to know, hey, roadworks is happening at so-and-so period, where you could be able to make other traveling routes and so forth. So I think having an app would be very great for drivers. It would be something to keep you informed. Hey, roadworks is going to happen at so-and-so time, I leave a little earlier. It would help with the traffic congestion also that is taking place in the country.
In your mind, do you see any negative consequence of someone using an app while driving?
Definitely, because I mean, utilizing your phone while driving means that you're not totally focused on the road, so that is a negative aspect to it. But I think if we promote that road safety where drivers would check before driving or maybe pull to the side and check the app before, I think that would help to alleviate that.
Do you know of any of the current ministry's works or projects going on right now?
Some of the works I could see, obviously the highway, that is one of the big ones that I see. And many road works around Trinidad and Tobago. I do see that the Ministry of Works is really doing a lot of road work.
Any advice you would like to give the minister or any questions you have for him?
For me, I would say my major thing would be looking at the rural areas like Moruga and stuff like that. I know that many rural areas have bad roads for so many years. Yet still they have been complaining and you hear them ask about it, and sometimes something temporary is just done in a short space of time, then the road is back to the same place. So I'll ask the minister if they could look more at the rural areas. I mean, yes, the city, definitely we need to pay attention to that, but look at the rural areas and see how we could best help those people there.
My name is Stefan Loraga. I honestly think it's a good app. It's healthy. It's reasonable. It's something that's user-friendly. It's good for the public, something that people could take interest in, something to be very conveniently using, so that I would know to use it when I'm coming to the Port of Spain, of course. Probably it working for other areas as well, I'm not too sure. But I really would want to use it sometime in the future, especially when I start driving and stuff.
Can you tell us your name and let me know if you would like to receive SMS messages that give you updates on what the ministry is doing?
Hi, my name is Shisha Ramcharan. Yeah, I think it would be something that would be useful and convenient. So yeah, I would appreciate it.
My name is Kareem Kingsale, and the app call-wise, I think is a great app, and I think everybody should start to use it because it could fix Trinidad and Tobago the way we want it to be and make this place a better place.
My name is Stephen Griffith. I think the app is interesting. Most likely it may help you a lot in terms of the traffic situation, hopefully, and it's something to look forward to, you know? It's basically it.
What do you think about someone using an app while driving?
Dangerous. Dangerous, yes. If you're stuck in traffic, it's a different story. Then you look for routes, and you might be able to just find a route to get out of the traffic. You know, it helps in that way, but in terms of driving and navigating at the same time, that is dangerous. I would not advise anybody to do that.
Hey guys, you're watching WeTV here on CTV. We're at the Four Roads junction of the newly opened Diego Martin Highway project. But how are residents of the area feeling about this project? We'll find out.
Oh, well, I'm Jerry. I'm from Simeon Road in Pity Valley, and the highway so far is working real good. I like how they do the part to come back to the Pity Valley now, because before there was going up Crystal Stream, and a lot of people who live along on the side was suffering now. You know, so as they bring it back now, we think working out fine, man.
Can you describe the traffic flow before and after the new highway?
Now, well, the traffic flow was in a mess, and now since they opened it back up for like 2 weeks now, a week now, everything running real smooth. And the real test will be when school open back up.
Do you think there's any downside at all to the new highway? Any negative consequences of the new of the improvements?
Not to my knowledge, you know. Since the highway opened, I was here when they opened up and thing, you know. I was watching everything. I know if they should work out something with the Dong Lane, like going out of town now. You know, but coming into Diego Martin, everything looking real nice and running real nice.
My name is Dolly Hines. I live at Blue Basin Road in Diego Martin, and this is my first experience with the new highway. And I'm standing here waiting on my prayer group, and I'm looking at the changes from what it was to when it is now, and it's really a nice experience.
Have you heard any negative comments on the highway? If so, what would they be?
I haven't heard anything, but as I was standing here a few minutes ago, I saw a guy drive past. You know how they like to drive fast. And one lady made a comment and said, look at that, we just got a new highway, and look at the foolishness he's already doing. Like I say, she said that, not me. So I haven't heard any negative things about it yet.
I am from Diego Martin. I am Margaret Baptiste. Well, I find the road, I find it okay. And it right at the beginning it will be like a puzzle in crossing, right? But I find it is all right.
Do you think there is anything that can be done in terms of maybe traffic wardens, a walkover? What do you think you would need?
Will be good. A walkover will be good. A walkover, it have other people who maybe weren't able to manage it. So if you put a walkover, that could be better because it are young people with like disabled people and so on who weren't able to cross the road at the same time. Some won't even know how to press the bell or whatever. So a walkover will be good.
Thank you for staying with us here on WeTV, making a difference in your community on CTV. And we are joined live by the Honorable Minister Rambachan and Adande Piggott, Traffic Engineer from the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us with your busy schedules. And viewers, we want to remind you, we want to hear from you. So call us now at 622-4141 extension 4 or send us a tweet at MOWIGOVTT or leave comments and questions on the Ministry's Facebook page. So this episode is all about technology, and earlier we saw the role of technology within the ministry. And to point out as well that this WISE app was developed in-house by our very own program analyst, Keith Nurse. How pivotal was that for the ministry, and what are the benefits of developing that program
It's a
in-house?
tremendous asset to have a person of the caliber and intellectual capacity of Keith Nurse. I've said before, and I say it again, you know, I attempted to buy such a program when I was at the Ministry of Local Government. It was cost me over $1 million. And he was able to develop this, you know, in-house. Shows his commitment to country and his commitment to his job and the ministry. And I thank him again for his commitment and excellence. But what this does is it brings the ministry closer to the people. And it reduces a lot of the stress that people suffer from having a lack of information. And with this app, you can know what's happening in terms of roadworks. You can know, you can track, as you will very shortly, when we put on the traffic cameras, what's happening on the highways and so on, whether there are traffic jams or what have you, because it will be tied up to the National Traffic Management Center also. And then if you really want to review, let's say we are building a bridge somewhere, and you want to say, well, you know, I have to pass here every day. When is this bridge going to be completed? What percentage of the bridge is finished and so on? You'll be able to do all of that.
Keeping the public in the know.
In the know.
It's very convenient.
We think that reduces stress in itself.
Definitely. Because once I know that my regular route is going to be impeded by something, I can make plans accordingly. Just to let you all know that Adande was pivotal with the development of the the Diego Martin Highway Extension. So callers, feel free to direct your questions about the Diego Martin
Adande is a very important asset to my ministry also. He's involved in a lot of the traffic plans and traffic management. And Adande will tell you that right now we are facing a slight problem on the priority bus route with maxi taxis. And maybe Adande will describe what we are doing in order to protect consumers and travelers on the priority bus route when it comes to maxi taxis.
Yes, at present we have some maxi taxi drivers. They're abusing the system whereby they pick up passengers in Arima coming in the morning to go into Port of Spain, and they are dropping them short into Currap, San Juan, Five Rivers. They are not traveling the full length of...
infamous short drops.
Yes, short drops is what we call them. And many a times the commuters, they have to pay 3 different fares to get into Port of Spain. The Minister of Works and Infrastructure, he found it was really a disadvantage to the commuters, and he put some pressure on us to make sure and get it done. So right now we are doing our very best to inform the public. That's the first thing that we will do. We already started making flyers and we're already in the production stages of a video, so we're going to put the advertisement and work with consumer affairs and different state agencies to get the information out there to the public, to let them know that there are no short drops on the priority bus route. Your destinations are Arima to Port of Spain, Sangre Grande to Port of Spain, Maloney to Port of Spain. So we are really aggressive towards it. We're going to make sure that we get it out there before the school reopens, to ensure that the motoring public is not at a disadvantage.
Protecting the consumer.
Yes.
The other thing is that Andy will tell you, is that every maxi taxi has to have a destination sign. And a lot of maxi taxis are not putting up this destination sign. Now, there is a fine of $500 for first offense. And it can also lead to permit cancellation for subsequent offenses. But with respect to the short drop matter, your first offense will result in 3 months suspension of your priority bus route pass. The second offense, 6 months suspension. And for the third offense, you run the risk of having your PBR pass revoked altogether.
Yes.
And what we are also doing through these flyers is that we are providing the telephone number and everything that people can in fact use. And they can use the app also, if you have it on your phone, and send a message to us. So these flyers will be out on the priority bus route very soon for the benefit of consumers, so they know their rights in terms of when they travel with a maxi taxi.
We have a tweet here. It's asking us, how soon will the app allow the public to see the
traffic?
To see, yes, on the CC cameras.
By the end of September,
By the end of
the camera should be hooked up. In addition to that, though, sometime in the first quarter of next year, we'll be beginning to extend the number of cameras along the Churchill Roosevelt Highway right up to Piaco, and we are extending the cameras on the route to south up to Couva. So people will have a much more a wider area to see what's happening on the highways. And all this, as you showed at the beginning of your program, will be tracked at the National Traffic Management Center.
All this at your fingertips.
Yes, at your fingertips.
Very convenient. So moving from technology to the URP, the Unemployment Relief Program, very much maligned, but now under your stewardship, a lot more effective and efficient organization. We have some slides up for the viewers, and Minister, you could talk us briefly through each slide.
Unfortunately, you know, the URP program has been a much maligned program. But something is happening to the URP program under the People's Partnership Government. And between October 1st, 2013 and July 31st, 2014, so these are rather up-to-date figures, as you see there now, the number of roads rehabilitated and paved amounted to 16.742 kilometers under URP community contractors. Box drains, we had 55.05 kilometers. Now, that's a remarkable 55 kilometers of box drains, on the average 2 feet by 2 feet, built under community contractors in the URP program. That's history. We also had slipper drains built, 8.8 kilometers of slipper drains, pavements and sidewalks constructed, 10.558 kilometers. And then we did other things under the URP program. For example, communities wanted jogging tracks. We have completed 10 jogging tracks. Now, you know, you have so many, almost 200 recreation grounds with lights now. So we are putting in jogging tracks now for people to use. Many NGOs also come to us for work, but in terms of retaining walls, we have done 63 retaining walls, and that amounted to approximately 1.5 kilometers of retaining walls that has been built under the URP program. So these are some areas. Other things we have done under URP include children's play parks, refurbished and upgraded recreation grounds, and we have been paving a lot of churchyards and temple yards and mosque yards and so on, so that, you know, people when they go to worship, they have a better environment. All of this is now being done through the URP program. I want to congratulate the management of the URP program, Mr. Kenrick Castellano, and who's the program manager, and others, as well as my permanent secretary, Mr. Isaac James, for his cooperation, and to let you know that 603 community contractors have been given work so far this year under the URP. 603 community contractors.
Very commendable, and a relief to see those jogging tracks for those health conscious persons. We have a call from Pitty Valley.
Yes, hello?
About the URP question.
Yes, I've started a project at number 22 First Street, Simeon Road. And they had asked for permission to cut down part of my land to do the top. As the stop finished, they had stopped because they said of bandits or something like that. And right now, my house is slipping down into the river. I would like to know exactly what you can do to help alleviate that problem.
Sure. And what you can do is contact me tomorrow. I'll give you the number 792-1155.
Okay.
You can text me the information. It's better if you text me the information, and I will have someone visit you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks for calling.
Yes. Okay. Anything more on the URP program you want to share with us?
Well, yes, the URP, I mean, this work that we are doing now is phenomenal in terms of the extent of the work. People really don't believe it. But this is one way that we reach the person who would not normally get a box drain built or get some road fixed and so on. So it really reaches out to a lot of rural communities. And it also provides employment in the communities. Now, when you think about it, you have 603 community contractors at work. Each one will have an average of between 8 and 10 persons working for them. So it's also an economic activity in terms of generating the local economy in their areas. So,
just to stress, go back a bit. We saw the quick facts earlier on in the program about the traffic management system that picks up those that break a red light.
Yes.
We saw at one intersection there were over 1,700.
1,748 in 1 month, breaking the light. That's at the Hyatt at Ryson Road,
Yes.
right, Anandi?
Yes, right at the Hyatt intersection on Ryson Road. If you do the calculation, it's about $1,000 per ticket.
Per offense.
$1.8 million.
Yes.
At one light.
At one intersection.
At one intersection. Now, what is interesting, if we had brought and shown you some of the number plates, you'll be surprised who are the people breaking the lights.
Oops, busted.
Yes.
Okay, we have another caller.
Hello.
From Chaguanas. Hello.
Hi, good night. I'm calling to ask a question to the godly minister.
Yes.
Minister, I live under the Borough of Chaguanas Corporation, and I know you're a former mayor of that corporation. Yes, I'm seeing you have been doing a lot of work under your ministry with respect to paving roads, and I just heard you said under the URP program you have paved a lot of roads. You also paving churches, church yards, temple, and mosques. But there's a community in Chaguanas, a lot of the rural community that haven't been paved. I live in a community.
Okay, what's the community name?
Edinburgh 500. Those roads have not been paved for over 15 years.
Okay. And we do,
in Boulevard, on the Boulevard, which I see you pass sometimes, that road is very rough.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
thousands of commuters every day pass on that road.
Well, thank you for the question. And in fact, in our September PSIP program, we have a number of those areas earmarked for road rehabilitation in the new PSIP, which is just about a month off, with the budget being on September 8th.
Thank you. We have a caller from Mount Hope pertaining to signs.
Yes, Minister. With respect to the signages on the highways, whatever part of Trinidad you go, you see small signs. You can hardly read them until you get onto them. And some of the signs are placed in such a way that after you make the turn-off, then you realize you're in the wrong lane. You're not getting any warnings as to what lane to get into. And when you get there, you realize that, hey, I'm in the wrong lane.
Yes.
They're too small, number one. And the second thing is some of the signs are reflecting the car lights at night. You can't read what's on the signage. So it's something for you to look at, to have overhead signs lit in the night so that you can see where you're going.
Yes.
Nandi?
Yes,
So the
that-
visibility is an
Yes.
issue.
Yes, we are.
It's a
We
good
are.
question.
We are aware of that issue. I know for next year we are. At present we are collecting the data and creating the signs digitally, and we're going to have a gantry sign program. It's something that we had before, but it's really costly. But it's something that we are trying to put forward because we know that we want to have signs where motorists, tourists who come from other countries who have no idea where to go, would they be able to come here, just like in foreign countries, you're able to drive as if you know the place because of the proper signage. So it's something is really costly, but it's something that we are putting down as a developmental program in the traffic management branch for next year.
In fact, Anandi will tell you that we just brought in a couple of the gantry signs, and they are being assembled right now to go up on the Solomon Hochul area, Butler Highway area.
Great,
Yes.
great. So something to look forward
These
to.
gantry signs are the big ones. Exactly what he's talking about. Getting lane, and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Yes.
Gradual.
Yes, that's
yes.
right. Yeah.
Caller from Claxton Bay. Hello.
Caller. Yes, panel. Good night.
Good night.
I'm calling with a concern about there are some stairs on the southbound side of the Macaulay overpass, and the stairs is moving from its base. The land there is moving, or the base of the step is moving, or something, and it's kind of difficult for people to be getting on and off because there's a big gap, maybe about 2 feet from where the highway is to where the stairs are, and we have some old people. We have not so old people using that. So I don't know if the Honorable Minister or his team could correct that problem.
Yes, I take responsibility for that. In fact, that has been pointed out to me by several of the persons who drop off from taxis there on evenings or get taxis to go into San Fernando. And I will, in fact, fix those stairs. But you're right, the land slippage there is very much. It's just under the flyover at Claxton Bay. But we will attend to it. Thank you for reminding us.
So let's shift now to PURE, Program for Upgrading Roads Efficiency. We see the roadworks being done during the day, and the public has commented on this. But now we see things coming into works being done in the night. For example, the Southern Main Road. You want to touch on that?
Well, a lot of work is being done in the night. For example, last week we rehabilitated, we milled and repaved the area from Glamour Girl right into Barataria. And that was done in the space of about 3 or 4 nights. On the last night of paving, believe it or not, Jusamco moved 3,600 tons of asphalt and paved it in one night in that area because they brought out all the equipment. And we did that because we wanted to reduce the amount of dissonance in the community and also, make sure people are not dislocated as much as so it's going on in the night. Right now, as we speak, at this moment, we are at the Sealots BTM lights there, and we are doing work there right now because the road had sunk. So by tomorrow morning, when you drive past there, it will be a new
brand
surface
new road.
We are doing work now at O'Meara intersection also tonight. If you go, in fact, on your app, you'll be able to see all Wise app. You'll be able to see all of these works that are going on. We are doing work also from Macoya to Curepe Roundabout. All of those things are being done at this point in time, but they are being done in the night so that we do not disrupt the traffic in the day. Now, as I say that, there will be some work that has to be done in the day, and we hope that commuters will bear with us. But the majority of the work like that is being done in the night.
And have no fear, you'll be notified via the Wise app.
Yes,
right?
and the website and the Facebook page.
Correct. Also, touch about the Boundary Road walkover to the Barataria overpass.
The Boundary Road.
The works are night works as well.
Yes, all of those are night works. Yes, all that will be done in the night. Yes.
Okay.
And people are wondering about the walkover in Diego Martin, and then they will tell you about that.
Yes. Well, right now we are near completing the designs for that for the walkover, and we anticipate by closer to the end of the year we'll try. Right now we have at December, but we're trying to start before December to have this walkover completed. This is to improve safety and enhance safety at this Diego Martin Highway. If you notice, we really tried our best to have safety devices on this highway, and we want to ensure that we protect the public. We're working closely with Arrive Alive, so that is one with close collaboration with the community, we ensure that they had asked for safety in crossing the roadway because the Diego Martin Highway is extremely wide right now. So the ministry have taken this responsibility to put a walkover in this area.
Okay, great. Anadande, what will be done with regards to the safety of persons using the Four Roads intersection, sorry?
Well, we have the pedestrians, they crossing at grade at present. They'll be able to press the traffic light to get all vehicles to stop in order to cross the roadway. So safety is there. We just want to ensure that the motorists slow down and pay attention to the signals to allow for safe crossing with the pedestrians.
What about those lane delineators?
Yes.
As well?
Yes, those lane delineators, they really assisted us throughout the country. As you see, we put them up from north-south corridor. One disadvantage that some of the speeds that motorists are driving, because how they are designed to get a hit. They will go down and come back up.
I always wondered about that. What are they made of? Would it spring back?
There's a spring inside. It's set up for safety, high reflectivity in the night, so motorists will be able to merge off the road properly and know where they are going. So we have installed some of those in Diego Martin also, and they work really well, but we want motorists to slow down on the roadways, because we see some of them are damaged, and we are trying our best to replace them as quickly as possible. But they are there to
road
channel.
users need to do their part as well.
Yes, they are there to channel motorists and also provide reflectivity in the night, so motorists will be able to stay on the right lanes. Yes.
Minister, any closing words before we wrap up?
Well, very soon commuters in the Valencia area will be relieved of that heavy traffic that they have on Valencia Junction. The 2 bridges are just about nearing completion, and by the end of September, and let's say if we put 2 weeks to that, middle October, given the rain that are falling now, that entire stretch of roadway will be opened. So too, we are completing now the area between the Caroni Bridge and the Washington Junction, which will now relieve the traffic coming out of Cunupia and going back to Piarco. That is also being done. The Golconda interchange, that's ready to open, and at the end of this month of September, everything will be in place. All we got to do now is put the lights up and to light up the interchange, and that will be ready. And of course, we'll also be ready to open the stretch of the highway, Point Fortin Highway, between St. Mary's and Mondesi before the end of the year. So the progress on the Point Fortin Highway is very good, and on all the other works. Perhaps what we will do is next week come and talk to you more about the works being done by Pure as a whole across the country, and what it means for commuting and relieving the traffic stress.
Adonde, anything quickly?
Yes, all I like to say, I like to promote safe driving on the roadways. As a traffic engineer for the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, we want motorists to slow down, be courteous to pedestrians crossing the roadways, and be safe on the roads. That's all I really want to let the public know.
Just one more thing. Yes. This evening we graduated 85 more traffic wardens. So now we have a total of 344 traffic wardens in Trinidad and Tobago. We need 566 more traffic wardens. So, sorry, I want to invite persons to contact the Ministry of Works and put your applications in if you want to become a traffic warden. That's 566 jobs that will be available, and we need them almost immediately. So we're encouraging people to apply to be traffic wardens.
Good, so get your applications in and work in tandem with the ministry to make the road safer for us.
Yes.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Adonde. Thank you, viewers. See you next week on CTV.
Come on,